Hi, this is Rosie Guagliaro, the founder of InnerBrilliance Coaching, and I wanted to welcome you to this interview series I call Be Perfectly You. It's based on my signature program for coaching, and obviously it is not about being perfect, but about being the real you so you can shine and attract all that you desire in life in a much more natural way. So, a little bit of background on me. I've been a certified life and career coach for over 14 years. And previous to that, I was in marketing and advertising for 18 years. And now I work with high achieving clients to help them get results while feeling happier every step of the way. And I spent decades studying neuroscience, positive psychology, and spirituality to bring a holistic approach to optimize my clients' lives. Now I want to share all of my learnings directly with you. So I'm really excited about this series, and we're going to meet a variety of experts to help you be able to have success and happiness in life, work, and love. And today we're going to be talking with Jolene Beaton. Hi, Jolene.
Hi, everyone.
We met through a women's group, actually, where she is always sharing great insights about relationships and dating. And I thought, well, I'm excited to have her share more, with us today, and a little bit more about herself and her tips on dating and relationships. So I'm going to tell you all a little bit about her, a little bit more. Jolene is actually a nationally renowned matchmaker and dating expert, and she holds an undergrad degree in psychology and has actually interviewed, coached, and matched over 15,000 singles. That's amazing. And her expertise, passion, and unique ability of understanding singles and dating, the dating scene as well, has made her a sought after expert in the industry. And she has an incredible talent when it comes to creating magical dates. So I can't wait to hear more. I'm just excited because I know over the past 13 years, you have just established yourself as a leading dating and relationship coach with It's Just Lunch too, which I know has been around for a while. And I know that your main goal is to help your clients find love. So I know I just shared a little bit about you, but if you wanted to share in just a couple minutes what you do, that would be really great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I started with It's Just Lunch 13 years ago, and I started as a matchmaker. And I thought, what an incredible job, right? You can get, I interview you, find out who you are, what you're looking for, and then I can set you up with this guy who's also great. So it felt really good and good work. About 7, 8 years into my career with IJL, I got really interested in someone's dating experience as a whole. So while, if they met 12 people and they ended up married through us, what about those 11 no's, right? How were those spent? And how is the culture of dating, what is American culture in dating? And modern dating, and what are the rules? So I got fascinated with it. So I quickly listened to a lot of happy clients, but unhappy clients, and found out, all right, what can we do here? And I started coaching. So now I coach a couple hundred singles every single month. And it runs the gamut of like dating strategy, dating 101, great conversation. How do I smile more? How do I create chemistry? Do I look sharp? And then the deeper stuff, are you complete on past relationships? Is there any emotional blocks stumbling from you? Anxiety, right? Just anything holding you back from even belief system. Do you believe that you can get the relationship that you really desire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
It's good work.
Oh, I know I've heard, like I said, I've heard your guidance, advice, and I've heard you talk about your upcoming book. And I feel like everything you share is so needed in this world. And like I mentioned, I work with a lot of high achievers, and a lot of them are just really busy with work to either, to find time to date is tough, or when they are dating, it's like you said, they may not have the strategy or the belief systems they need. And I know that there's so many tools out there to help people not only figure out how to date, but how to find that good partner, right? And I know you have some of those that you're sharing with your clients. So I I was just wondering, for someone who wants to get started in dating and there may be a busy professional or, a mom who is helping with kids a lot these days, what would you say would be 3 tips that could help people out?
So I want to address, the working with high achievers, being with the company, It's Just Lunch, we have dedicated the last 30 years to dating for busy professionals. And it is what a lot of successful people do is they seek out resources and experts and say, just help me, tell me what I don't know, so I
Mhm.
can go learn that and take it and apply it, which is great. So, you know, finding an avenue that is aligned with, I don't know, intentionality of dating or, being really thoughtful about the process is smart. Tips in getting started, I would say, oh, I actually will tell you one quick funny story. I had a client this morning and it was so wonderful. She's a dynamic woman and she takes care of her family and, she has a big job and she is like just firing on all pistons, right? Um, and she said, I'm starting dating. And she said, and I'm also, thinking about getting a new puppy. And I was like, I
That's a
said,
lot.
"Not yet." I said, not now. I said,
Yeah,
go with the boyfriend and then you guys can pick out the puppy together, right? Because we all just want to add so much. Um,
it's so
so I thought
funny.
I'd share that.
Yeah, no, I think that's a perfect example of high achievers, or what you said too, right in the beginning. Like, it's great that you have an avenue that It's Just Lunch is a place where it is people who are high achievers. They don't have a lot of time to maybe, well, when you could go out to meet people. So if there's a way or an avenue to be able to be more intentional, like you said, it's great. But I coach clients on relationships as well, and it is interesting what we think we can take on, right? Like, oh, I'll just also take care of a puppy, and thinking of the reality of that. I mean, if you want to start dating and meet a partner, I mean, you have to put real effort and time into it. And I know you know this better than anyone, but it has to be fun. And I think there's ways to find the fun, but try not to overload yourself, right? With a bunch of other things as well.
Right. That's why I think if you have, to get to the tips, if you have found yourself in a place where you're like, all right, I'm gonna make the capacity, to do this and add this, and I want partnership and love and fun in life. The first thing I think is, always be healing, right? A lot of people come into dating to they heal and then they come into the dating world and say, okay, now I'm ready,
Mhm.
or they heal through dating. And I don't have judgment around either, strategy, but if you are doing it simultaneously, that would be good, right? Always growing, always looking, is definitely, always going to make your energy more attractive.
It's so interesting you said that about healing, because I'll talk to clients too about like their belief systems or something they need to heal. And I think sometimes the instinct is, I'm going to leave this relationship and go find something better. And I often share with them, like, you can. And again, to your point, no judgment, but it's helpful if you really explore what you need to heal within yourself, get to a good place, and then decide if you want to stay in this relationship or move on to another one. And I guess I'm bringing that up because in your case, I know you're probably meeting more people who are saying they're ready to date, I'm guessing. But sometimes I hear people say, I want to wait until X, Y, and Z is over, right? Until I'm much better from this situation. And that's not always the
Yeah.
case either. You have partners to help you learn what you need to, where you need to grow.
Right. You couldn't be more right. You don't have to have it all figured out either, right?
Mhm.
There is room for that. And actually it leads me to my second tip, which is, expectations. Having realistic expectations in the dating world. So not necessarily do I have realistic expectations in the partner I want. I'm much
Mhm.
more romantic in that sense that I think dream big, go
Mhm.
get that amazing, fantastic woman and go get that incredible man, that you are compelled to live a juicy future with, right? Um,
Mhm.
but expectations in the dating world are important. Let's say if you're in your 40s, 50s, right? potentially, if I have another 30, 40, 50 years of a love life, certainly I can, be patient around the next 6 months or year of dating and what that looks like. So you want to look at dating in a way that is really kind and compassionate, that person that you're meeting, you don't owe anybody anything but a little like movement, inspiration, kindness,
Mm,
thoughtfulness. If you operate in the dating world with less, what can you give me because I'm looking for it, and more, what can I give to my dating experience and to everybody I connect with, you will be repaid by pinching yourself like, how did I get so lucky? Um,
yeah, that's awesome. I ask clients that too. It's like, well, what can you certainly want to look at what you want in a relationship, right? What you want to experience, what you want to, it's also important to say, like, what do you want to contribute? What do you want to express? And sometimes I talk to clients about be the person you want to attract. I think sometimes we have this ideal image of who we want to attract, and then we're not always showing up that way, right? So it's important to be that person. And I love what you said about compassion. I bring that up because it's so easy to be on, starting the dating process and getting kind of judgy, right? About, did he call me? Did he text? Did he do this? I always think the first few dates, just people are trying to feel you out. I know some of my clients love it when a man texts them or a woman texts them. And then some are like, no, they should definitely call. And there's just so many mini rules that people have that I say, just learn how to express what you desire, see if the other person can pick up on that. And then don't get so attached to if someone is showing up a certain way on the first date, that's exactly how they are. What do you think?
I couldn't agree more. Like, in the last 13 years that I've been here, one of the major things that I've learned is just, and you talk about those 15,000, it's actually maybe even like closer to 20,000 singles just having conversations, right? And um, all the stereotypes, they really started drifting away. There's, this 60-year-old man who's never been married. There's nothing really wrong with him. The woman
Mm-hmm.
that's been divorced twice, there's nothing wrong with her, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
the person that didn't have kids, are they going to understand? I just, all of these stereotypes and grouping that we do really isn't there. If you just listen, there's something unique and special and kind of cool about everybody, but we're so quick to go, I'm not going to find out that
Right.
that we
I
don't
think
know
you're
that.
right. And you could be passing up on someone who's great, and there might have been some outside circumstances for that person to be in the situation they're in now. Like you said, maybe they were never married, but now they could be ready for something more serious. So I love that. Well, any other tips you want to share?
Yeah, I want to leave you guys with, I think, even though healing and expectations are huge, to get to the fun, the only thing I have seen that compels people to set up that date, make that call, is if they had fun. So, it's good storytelling. And I'll give you an example quickly of how much room you can create chemistry through just a 90-second story. So let's say that a gentleman says to me, what'd you do this weekend? I can answer very factually, nothing much, just ran some errands, met up with a girlfriend. What about you? So that's typically how we answer questions, just very matter of fact, but it's not expansive, so, or I could answer and say, nothing much this weekend, but maybe I should tell you a little bit about, my personality. So during the week, I'm, very routine. I'm early to bed, early to rise. But on the weekends, especially lately, I've been throwing my phone in a drawer. I've got some trails by my house. So I've just wanted to be in nature. So I've been doing that. I love to cook. So if I can convince someone to come over, I've got a kick-ass album collection, and there's just not much more that brings me so much joy. What about you? What brings you joy? Right?
I love that.
So right
Yes.
there, you're painting a picture of what it's like to be on a date with me. Hopefully that man's thinking, all right, I want to go sit and have a glass of wine while she's cooking me dinner, listening to some great music.
Right. I
Right?
love that.
Yeah.
That's such a
So,
great tip.
and then just transparency. If it's a yes, yeah, I'd like to get to know you better. Call me. Here's my number. I hope to hear from you. Right? If it's a no, Gosh, you know what, John? I've been thinking about this call and I thought your family dynamic was really cool. And I loved how you talked about your work. But if I'm really honest with where I'm at this stage of my life, I'm looking for a different connection. But thank you so much for just the talk. I really appreciate it.
Jolene, those are two amazing tips. I totally hear you about the first piece. I think we're so used to being in like transaction mode. I call it masculine energy. You stick to the facts, and you just share that, right? The feminine energy, and it's good to have both, but if you're dating, right, especially if you want to attract or allure someone, paint that picture. This is what it might be like to be with me. And it invites them to want to know more. I love that versus the very transactional. I know when I was first divorced and someone was on a date and I had not dated all of my 20s because I was with my husband at the time. I was my early 30s and I'm on this date and this guy's like, oh, so what do you got going on this weekend? I'm like, I have to go grocery shopping and then I'm going to go write my workbook and then I'm going to do this and that. And his face was just like, okay. And I thought, oh, I guess he didn't want to know the whole schedule. I didn't realize that. So it was just funny because I had no idea, but the way you shared it, like invite them in, paint that picture. I love that. And yeah, so important. And I love your other point too about really just saying what you need. And it doesn't have to be pushy or forward, but hey, here's my number if you want it. And again, you don't have to like be the one scheduling the date. Then they can respond to that. So I think that's really important. And finally, obviously, I think the most dreaded interaction can be the one where you feel like you have to tell someone you're not interested. And it's so often even not the other person, it's just you're different and you want different things. So I feel like that is the way you said it. I just loved listening to you. I was like, oh, that's so sweet. I didn't feel bad.
And I think even if you don't know, right, people are very worried about leading someone on, but they want to give themselves the time and space to decide, what if this is someone I could be attracted to, right? I think I don't know is good. Like, gosh, I don't know. Like, I see where we could have some things in common, but I think I'd have to have a couple more adventures or some talks to see if the chemistry's there. But I don't know. Here's my number. Let's just see let's see who makes the first move, right? Like you can
Love it.
Bring that to it without overpromising or feeling like, I don't know, that you're on the hook, right?
Right. I think what you said, transparency, and I always talk to my clients about that as well as it's just being authentic, right? And I talk about being perfectly used, getting clear on what you want, and then being able to share that, I think, in a loving, kind way to anyone is really the key because again, you're going to attract more of what you want, obviously, if you're honest about it and if you can clearly share it. So that's beautiful.
And in the book that I'm having published, Dating Explained, it is really, there's some mechanics to a good date and you can, have fun with it. I urge people to write their bios and find out, who am I, really, and who am I in a romantic setting, not just in a resume, right? And then what relationship is healthy and juicy and compelling and exciting to look forward to, because it is a lot of effort. So, and at minimum, print out some first date questions. I am all about the cliche date questions. I think they can be fun. And so you can start thinking, what are some of my stories? Take a storytelling class. Chicago has a great one,
Yeah.
So it really is, just have fun with it.
I love that you're saying that too, because I know we always talk about effort and you have to put time in. And that's where I think a lot of people stop wanting to date or don't even go for it, is they think it takes too much time and effort. And I'm thinking, well, if you're dating someone, it's going to take time and effort. Let's say you were in a partnership, right? And then they'll say, but it's not fun because you're just on these first dates or, first getting to know people. And it's so funny because I think it's all your mindset. At least the way I've gone into it when I've been in a situation to start dating is, this is fun. I get to meet new people. Who knows what will happen? Hopefully I just make some good connections and it could lead to anything. Maybe I'll set them up with someone else. Maybe there'll be some like work inspiration. So I try not to be so narrowly focused on, is this the one person, right? I just say to myself, fun to make connections. Do I want to go on another date with someone? That's it. That's all I have to know right now. I feel like I've heard that from you before too.
Yeah, it's it. And it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's fun. Thanks. I'm pretty sure you said it. Well, this was so helpful. Thank you again for the time. And I think you mentioned that you have an offer for the InnerBrilliance family, and it's so generous. I couldn't even believe it when you first told me. So would you want to share that with everyone? And then I'll write in the description how they can reach out to you as well. But yeah, it sounds like you have something you would like to share.
Yeah, for if you are in one of my markets, which is San Francisco, Denver, Chicago, Cleveland, Milwaukee, Minneapolis, and Washington, D.C., we are happy if we can take you on as a member to offer 6 months of free coaching along that works in tandem with your dating, which is brilliant. And
Yes.
if you are not in the market or not interested in the dating aspect of it, but more in the coaching, we will do 50% off of a coaching package.
That is so amazing. Thank you so much, Jolene. I seriously was just excited to get your tips. And then when you said that, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I know, February is around the corner and Valentine's Day. So I think this will be really top of mind for people. So I'm so
Well,
excited to share this with everyone. And I thank you so much
thank
for
you so much.
your time. All right. Bye.
Bye.